Hey guys, what's up? It's JDawgs here, and we are back for another episode of Vanilla Minecraft here on the Spiritcraft server. And I've been hard at work at a couple different things that I want to share with you guys, and I didn't do them on camera only because they literally took me hours to get done. So you guys remember the old way that this was set up was where when I got figured out which ones I wanted to keep, they would end up here. Well, I've changed it up a little bit to where they'll automatically come here once they're fully grown no matter what. And then I have this set up to where I can pull them out if I want to trade with them or keep them or put them somewhere. And then I set up this other button that drops them straight down there. Now, that leads down to the old... Are we getting one? Oh, I thought I heard a guy coming through. That leads down to the old drop down, and I'll show you here in a minute where it goes to. We've been working on the sewers more, trying to get some of the stuff put in. It's a lot more tedious than I thought it would be, trying to do the walls and everything in between each place. And I think, like, after this room, I'm going to have a lot more, like, each spot where you go will have, like, something cool or special with it. And so, like I was thinking about, we need... farms for our animals, we need farms for like a sugarcane farm and different things. So I think these might lead to those different farms, which would be kind of cool. So anyways, I want to show you. First thing, you can see that this has all been moved. It now runs underneath here and goes right underneath this middle section. And our way to get in is through this little water entrance. You can see that they get pushed around this way, and then they come down here, where this guy's sitting, and once they grow up, they go straight up into the water elevator to go upstairs to that little spot. So that's how they get up there now, and then I shortened this because this is where the drop down comes down. Once they drop, they get into another water stream, which pushes them over this way a little bit, and then they drop off that one into this spot here and still go down the hole. So it's now they've got like more of like a conveyor belt that they go through, and just kind of a little system. And I think it's pretty cool as far as what I set up there. That was the easy part. And you can see the stuff down here. We've gotten all these done except for the walls, because that takes a little while. But the ceilings and everything else is all done. I've gotten little steps on each one so we can get out. And then over here, I did something different, because you remember we used to have the entrance to go up to see the villagers right here. Well, we still have it, but I've made a little door so we can get back here. And then the only bad part is you can kind of see the redstone here, because I wasn't really able to cover it up. Eventually, I may move these stairs, like have this go a little ways that way, and then drop down or something, just so that we can cover up the redstone. But to me, I'm not really worried about seeing it, because you don't see it unless you're coming down here to check things. But we still have our villagers down here. And I keep the little hoe here just in case, you know, we gotta till up some soil or something. And then I have a button here that makes it go back out. So to show you guys the redstone, simple flush hidden piston door. The main part of it is this here: 2 pieces of redstone, 2 pieces of redstone, 2 repeaters, and then 2 more pieces of redstone. And then from anywhere on here, you can use, you know, it can be where your power goes into it. And I think I could, like, compact this a little more to where it might not really be showing. But again, I'm not too worried about it. I have that there, and then right above this, there is a redstone torch that turns this on and off. And then that's also connected to this, which back behind this, there's a couple repeaters, and then there's a hidden button down there that you guys probably, you know, figured out by now. And it's just sitting on the floor, and so I can just look down, push the button, and it hits all of these. And since I have the couple pieces of stone brick here, it makes it nice and dark. So that's how that works. And I figured I'll kind of explain what I've done instead of trying to do redstone on camera, because for me it's a lot easier to do it off camera than just explain it to you guys. So the next thing that I have that I did, which I think personally is pretty cool, and it took me quite some time to get it all figured out the way I wanted it, is if you guys remember I showed you that there was a hole underneath here and I wanted a secret entrance, which I think I've successfully done. Oh, we're getting glitchy. So getting in there isn't the easiest because for some reason I get jumpy. There we go. So every once in a while I'll get jumpy on the stairs. So I'm thinking about trying to make it a little easier to get in by maybe making it 2 by 2, but I think that'll be a lot more difficult, and being that this is 5 wide, it's going to be a little bit more awkward getting in and out. So that's the only downside of that. But I was able to compact it to where it's just within this area here, and we'll go up inside and I'll kind of show you everything that is behind here. So this is my messy redstone work. I know it can probably be compacted, but this was extremely difficult. Not so much the bottom one, because it just retracts straight down, and you can see over this direction where that happens. So there's just a, you know, torch, piston, pulls it down, and it's on a delay so that it does it at the same time as the other one, which that was kind of hard to do too. Our input is here, and you can see this right there is our block with the button on it on the outside, and then we have a block here which is just temporary until I figure out what I want, but you push this button and it'll trigger it from the inside. So both of those run into the main switch, which is right here, and then that powers this block, which if you're doing this yourself, this is usually the block, this block or the other block on this side are the blocks that you would have to power depending on how you set it up. Originally I had it flipped around, so these two blocks were switched, the torch was over here, and it was much harder to power it that way and get it to go to where I wanted it to, because I had to run redstone from like around here out around so that it didn't mess with any of the other redstone, and it was a lot more difficult, I think. And so when I switched it around, it wasn't too bad. As you can see, that torch powers this, which powers that, which does the bottom. That was the easy part. Excuse me, I'm going to get me a drink real quick. So that was the easy part for me. The hard part was trying to do that same piston door that I did in the bottom there, up top, and, well, why can I not jump up here? There we go. So you can see I've got basically the same thing. It's two pistons, sticky pistons here, and then there's one over there in the far side. But I couldn't power them like I did the one down below from the blocks above, because there's stairs here. It was so hard to figure out how to power these at the right time. And so I've got two repeaters here that point into each block, which will power these top two and the bottom two below it. So that powers the 4 pistons here. They're all set on max delay. And then this signal also runs this direction into this, which goes across the top here to power that redstone torch, which powers this piston whenever I need to open everything up. And so if you watch it here, well, it's not really updating for some reason. There you go. But if you see it, it makes it all go at the same time, but it was really difficult to get it that way. If you guys want me to kind of do something, because hiding stuff underneath stairs is really difficult when you're trying to do something like this and you want it flush. Of course it's not flush on the inside. You can see a redstone torch there, and then when it's open all the way, you can of course see a piston there. So it's not completely flush on the inside, but you know, for me it's as close as I'm willing to try to mess with it. If you guys have any suggestions for how to compact it more, I'm more than willing to be all ears here. But as far as I can see, this is best possible scenario. I will let you know if you try to do this on your own. There was an issue for a while trying to make sure that this part didn't turn into a bud switch, where it updated only when like a block or an item was, or well, not an item, but a block or like a torch or something was added or removed above that. But the way I have it set up right now, it's not a bud switch, so it works properly as far as I know. But that's the way I have all this set up, and it took me, this part took me several hours to figure out properly. And I feel kind of derpy because I know people that do this in no time flat, so but for me it was a big accomplishment to be able to get this to fit right underneath the stairs and have it all be flush and be really cool like this. And now we still have a decent amount of room where we can have a nice little build in here, and if we want to, we could do the same on this side, but it's going to be at a different level. As you can see, that grass is only 1 block up from where I'm standing, and this grass is 2 blocks up from where I'm currently standing, so it would all be even higher up into the wall. And I don't know if I really want to have it on both sides or not. I think I'm just going to have it on the one side and then be able to get in here from that side. Now if we go out here, and the cool thing is when you're coming out, this one, if you're kind of at a delay, it'll kind of boost you out and put you up onto the stairs, so that's kind of cool. One of the things I'm thinking about is I'm thinking about changing this button so that it's not right here. Maybe making it into a different kind of like secret thing to do there. So maybe like a minecart on a minecart track, and you push, you know, you come over here and it'll push the minecart and trigger on a activator rail, and then come back or something like that. We could also do another bud switch where, you know, you put a torch down, or the old one I used to have on the old server where I'd have a hoe and I would hoe the piece of land and it would till it and then push it back to where you could never really tell it was there. So if you guys have any suggestions for stuff like that, that would be really cool. And maybe a way to, I mean, I know I could put a longer delay on it, but maybe a way to keep this open longer, because the way it is, it only stays open. I mean, the delay on the button itself is pretty decent, but the amount of time it stays open is not quite long enough. And I know if I mess with the delays over here, see, these are already on max delays, so that would involve another set of repeaters, I think. And I think it would also involve another repeater down here, which that one's not a big deal, but getting another set of repeaters up into here would be a little bit more difficult, I think. So anyways, if you guys have suggestions on some of this stuff that I've done today, I really would appreciate some ideas and suggestions on any of this that I've done. Like I said, we've got a cool little section over here now where we can sort through our villagers. The only problem I found is that if we end up with more than one in here, which this guy is a butcher, 15 pork chops and 14 chicken. Let's compare him real quick. And I have gotten a couple zombies stuck in here somehow. He's better trade for pork chops. See, and we need stuff like that too. Like, I've got pork chops that we can trade with these guys, but I don't have a source of pigs to breed up and stuff. So I think that's going to be something else we do. But the problem that I was going to say real quick is that if I don't want them, that's not a problem, but if more than one gets in here, I either have to, you know, manually take each one out and see if I want it or not, or, you know, something like that. And if I hit the button, all of them will drop. So I'm trying to think of a way that I can make it to where it can detect when there's one in here, which you could put a pressure plate underneath them, but then I don't have the trap door to drop them down. So that's part of a problem with that. I know we could do a tripwire string, which I thought about maybe doing. And if we do something like that, maybe I could have it detect right there, and then, but I don't know how it would detect when he leaves. So if you guys have suggestions or how I might be able to do that, remember it's a confined spot, so we don't have a lot of room to work with. But if you have suggestions on that, that would be awesome, because it'll help me be able to just have one at a time in here and not get too many at once. So I think I'm going to take that guy out. Yeah, and I kind of got to nudge him over. That's the only other thing, is that I found that happens. every once in a while, and then they'll get pushed back. So I'm not sure what to do about that either. I may have to have a water stream behind him that keeps him pushed up against the edge here like we did downstairs, which I think we could do. I don't think that would be too hard of a problem. Nah, we could put like a little stream right there and have him kept pushed up against the edge. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, and if you have suggestions, comments, criticism for me, leave them in the comment section below. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. It really does help me out. And I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Peace out.